Hi everybody, Revolver84 here, and today I'm going to share with you a daily race B on Gran Turismo Sport at Willow Springs International Raceway. I'm driving a Group 3 car, the R8 LMS, which is from 2015 I think, and I've qualified in 5th, which is a relatively alright time. So the cars around us are between sort of second all the way down to sort of 7th, or within about 800ths of a second of us. The car number 1 is quite far ahead, but we're going to see how we get on. So the targeting for that, based on this, was to try and finish somewhere between 2nd and 7th. So obviously starting off in 5th gives a good chance. Now before I go any further, the reason I'm wanting to show this race for is because I want to give it a dedication, a shout out to Fitzy, who helped coach me through the preparations for this. He very much acted as my team principal and got me through this and gave us a good few tips, especially in turn 1, to get us through the race, which helped immeasurably. And he is a Twitch fan of mine, a Twitch follower who follows me on Revolver_84 on Twitch, so check us out there. So we're off, and we've took turns 1 and 2 absolutely fine, and we're maintaining 5th place. A little bit of a gap appearing between 4th, but I'm not concerned about that because everyone's going to slam on the brakes for the uphill incline. So as you can see, the Beetle's right up the back side of the cars in front, and they all screw up because they are too far close to each other, spreading 4 and 5 far wide. And easy through all the way through to 3rd, no problems at all so far. And then the Spaniard on 2nd dives out the way completely in error, and an easy progression from 5th up till 2nd without any effort whatsoever. Now, because I was able to maintain my head and keep cool during that uphill downhill section of section 2, I've pretty much progressed from 5th to 2nd without doing anything particularly special really. I've just maintained a level of consistency and let the other cars screw themselves over. So what's happened is, you now have a position where I am a bit far behind P1, PP Ghost 142, and there's a tiny gap between myself and P3. So all I can really do at this point here is keep my head down, keep an eye on the people closing in behind, deciding if I need to go defensive or not, get around the track and close down, reel in P Ghost 142. It's a fairly straightforward battle between, at this point, the 911 RSR by P Ghost 142 is probably feeling quite comfortable at this point. He probably feels he's quite safe, and similarly I had a similar sort of feeling myself coming through the uphill here as well. I started to get the impression that although the VW Beetle was coming in close behind, I felt confident that I could probably hold P2 for the rest of the race if I just maintained my ability to get round the track. I didn't really think I'd catch P Ghost. I would try and reel him in when he's on the off chance that I'd get a straight on the final lap. There was a possibility there, but I would try my best to try and at least stay within eye shot of him. And it's all about consistency here, so I'm coming around here, I'm in 4th gear, tickling 5th gear, all the way up for 5th, about 6th, and you hit the 200 marker, and you hit the brakes, gently hitting the brakes so you don't spin out, bringing it back down to 4th, and you can come out straight onto the final straight there. The Spaniard in P3 and the Beetle goes flying far too far because he's obviously not keeping an eye to his right as he's approaching that corner, and it is now a 2-horse race between me and P Ghost 142. Entering the turn 1, and it's just a bit of a shout out here. Whoop! P Ghost goes flying off. Completely taking advantage of that. I fly past, don't even entertain trying to keep an eye on him, just fly past because I was conscious that you would return to the track in a ghosted format. So what occurred there was, you can't help but feel a little bit responsible for that, purely because I kept the pressure on, I maintained that pressure, and I give him something to think about in his rear view mirror. Now because I give him something to think about in his rear view mirror, it's a bit of a difficult turn, to be fair. It's a particularly difficult track in all truth. If you stay on the road, if you stay on the brown and the grey stuff, you are probably going to be quite safe. Problem is, the slightest touch at Willow Springs onto the desert and you go off a mile. Reason being is that you have very little forward momentum as soon as you hit sand, and if just one wheel hits sand, it's going to pull the entire car in one direction or another, and that's exactly what happened to P Ghost 142 there. He went too far wide on the exit of turn 1. His forward driver side wheel hit the dirt, followed by his rear driver side wheel, and his entire car spun. An easy overtake for myself as we're coming to turn 1. Now this is where Fitzy was helping me out here. So he was very conscious that as part of his critique of me during the Twitch stream on Revolver_84, he was conscious I was turning in a little bit too early. So what he had me do, he had me go a little bit deeper, a little bit more into the corner before turning to get me up to 4th gear. Now what I did was at the start of the week was I tried that approach myself anyway, but I found that I couldn't maintain 4th gear. So what I tend to do is I tend to cut that corner a bit early, going into 3rd gear and getting around that way. After a extensive conversation with Fitzy on my Twitch stream, he advised us to try and go deep, get into 4th and pull out in 4th. Now in fairness, he was probably right. After a bit of exercises doing that, getting it just right, he was probably right, just because when you exit turn 1, if you are in 4th, you'll have a far more stable exit and ability to get on the speed quicker. It also means as well that you're probably carrying a faster speed anyway, just because you're a little bit straighter. So just that bit of advice alone by Fitzy has helped me out immeasurably there on turn 1, and we're getting into a position now in the race. We are relatively safe as we go into a bumper cam there. You can see in the rear view mirror I am miles away from anyone else. To give you an idea there, you can see on the right hand side just where the road ends, I am coming from right to left, but not getting completely left of the road and going round. So in this part of the track here, you are going round in 4th gear and you are not accelerating blindly. You are carrying speed just to get round, and then you come up to here, you hit about 60 meters, you go down into 2nd. You don't touch the inside apex and you avoid as best you can the outside of the turn. Again, because if you hit that gravel, you are spun off. You come down here, you floor it down here gently from 2nd into 3rd, and then when you hit 3rd you really floor. But when you get to there, you're usually up to about 4th. You go back down into 3rd and get round that corner without hitting the outsides of the road, because if you hit the outside of the road, you are in trouble. Now as you can see, we have went to a rear view of the race now, and 2nd and 3rd are battling with each other, but you can see Tibbs in 2nd has got an ambition to try and push as fast as he can to get up next to me. You can see he's been quite aggressive, and that's playing into the hands of 3 as well. All I'm doing at this point, conscious I have about a 3-second lead at this point, is just getting round the track. I'm looking for the final line, and there it is, with Tibbs coming in about 1.8 behind us. Very comfortable race. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. All the best. Ta-da.